Could WWE be adding a new Bloodline member to the roster? Elsewhere, a top Impact star is becoming a free agent, and could a major AEW star be retiring next year? More on that in this video. Hello everyone, Jack and Adam back again with more wrestling news. Zilla Fatu, the son of the late WWE legend Umaga, has parted ways with the Booker T-owned Reality of Wrestling training school and promotion as well, but it's one of those training schools that does its own shows. As a result of what Booker himself has described as, I always see this word written down, and irreconcilable differences.
Irreconcilable. Like that.
Zilla Fatu has left Booker T's training school. Booker says that they can't repair the differences between them.
I was
what is
looking
that word? How do you say it?
I was looking forward to you reading that because on paper I know exactly what it means.
Yeah,
and then I was like,
yeah.
oh, wait a second.
Irreconcilable.
It sounds wrong. I was looking forward to you reading it because I was like, yo, you studied English. You'll know exactly. I know exactly what that word... Anyway, right.
One of the worst ones is when you hear somebody read epitome and they go epitome and you're like, no, it's epitome.
What's the one that I used to do when I was doing voiceovers? Anyway, right, on his Hall of Fame podcast.
Yeah.
Booker T said, I can't tell you when you're going to see Zilla again because he's now no longer part of Reality of Wrestling due to some irreconcilable
That sounds right. That sounds good.
Differences.
What Booker said it. He can't say anything. How's he done that? Wow. We're rubbish. We're really bad.
Yeah. Irreconcilable.
Right, okay.
Let's just put it that way. I'm sure he's taking bookings out there on the internet, and we wish Zilla well in his future. He's working the marks here, right?
Do you reckon? I think this is serious.
So.
Because because I think this is the sort of thing that Booker would have no qualms about just being honest about on his podcast. Said, yeah, we've got big differences with each other, and we can't reconcile them. And irreconcilable. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And I don't know. Maybe do you think it's a work in terms of like Zilla will end up? This is the first steps of him getting onto the WWE roster.
It's right. He's only been there for a month. Surely it's too soon for him to go WWE. Without going to NXT first.
Yeah.
I can't see it happening. It was really impressive in his in-ring debut. I watched the match, but it was a glorified squash. Surely he can't be getting called up straight away. In his favour,
did he win the match?
Oh, yeah.
Right, okay.
With the Samoan spike, the
choke
slam. So, I don't know. Why would he say that? I think he's working. I don't know.
I think they could genuinely have fallen out because I remember I was on the news video where we reported like, Zilla Fatu, the new Bloodline member, has joined Booker T's training school. And I remember seeing an interview where Zilla Fatu had basically said, I'm currently on parole. I can't leave the state of Texas. Now I'm like, well, if he's only been there a month, I don't know how long. I don't know how long ago that was. I don't know how long that lasts until. But he said that I think at the time he was interviewed, which was around this sort of time, you can't leave Texas.
Yeah, of course.
So maybe it's not a work at all. It seems like they may have just actually fallen out. Apparently, though, since the announcement of his departure, many online and Adam Pacitti are speculating that Zilla's next stop will be WWE to get involved in the Bloodline storyline, possibly alongside Roman Reigns. The other thing that I think works against that theory is that Solo Sikoa, even though now he's like a very major part of this storyline, he still had to do a little bit of time in NXT just to kind of, and that was totally unconnected to the Bloodline stuff. The presentation of him was quite Bloodline-esque, but he never mentioned them. He didn't talk in promos.
And he had done a lot more pre-NXT
right than
Zilla has.
Oh yeah, on the indies,
Zilla's got to do more, surely.
I think so. I'd be surprised, but you never know. Heading over now to Impact Wrestling. Fightful Selector reporting that Deonna Purrazzo's Impact Wrestling deal expires at the end of 2023. And Fightful have also confirmed that as of now, there has not been an extension reached. Therefore, she'll reach free agency outside of the pandemic era of wrestling for the first time since 2018, which is when she joined Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, she'd be a really big loss for Impact Wrestling. She's like a real focal point for them. She's just great, and I could see either AEW or WWE picking her up. I don't think she's going to be struggling to find work if she doesn't decide to re-sign with Impact Wrestling. Yeah. I'd like to see her go to WWE or AEW personally, because she's done a lot in Impact Wrestling, but it would be a massive loss for them.
It would. There's often news stories. One was out recently where somebody involved with Impact will say, "Hey, this is the home of women's wrestling. This is the best place for women's wrestling." And I do think that out of those 3 promotions, they do have the strongest women's roster, or at least the one that gets spotlighted the best currently.
Couldn't agree more. I think out of all like the North American promotions, Impact Wrestling's the Knockouts division is the best women's. Women's, not necessarily roster, as you say, just like the how they're showcased.
Yeah, and which is ironic given the history of the TNA way.
Yeah, right. But at the same time, she would likely have an opportunity to make a lot more money elsewhere, wouldn't she? So you got to weigh that up.
She was released by Impact in 2020. This is why the Fight for report specified in the non-pandemic era of wrestling, this is the first time she'll have reached free agency. But then she went on to sign a new contract and had an optional additional year activated after she outperformed her original deal. During that time, she's become a 3-time Impact Knockouts champion and a tag team champion, kind of adding to what Adam said, that she's kind of done it all in Impact. Also a 1-time Ring of Honor Women's champion and a AAA Reina de Reinas champion as well. Wherever she goes, she's the sort of wrestler where, as long as the creative team get her and allow her to kind of do her own thing a little bit as well, then she'll really thrive. Maybe she'd fit better in AEW because of that, because she works kind of a very technical style. And even though I've got no doubts that she can definitely have a WWE style match and really excel, she seems to be one of those wrestlers who's quite style based in the ring. Like, her nickname's the Virtuosa. She's all about technical proficiency, and I wonder whether the WWE style might limit her slightly. I don't know.
Yeah, perhaps. I think there's great opportunities for her to rise up through NXT. I think like if she debuted in NXT, I could see her getting hold of the NXT women's title really quickly. And like making
Tiffany
a big
Stratton's
deal.
Rubbish. I don't know. She's facing Becky Lynch soon, isn't she? Oh my
Bonkers,
God. Wow. Crazy. Good for her. Oh no, I've just dropped them. Also, the Rotunda. I've just laughed there and I'm going right into some serious news, but it is kind of heartwarming in a way as well. Mika Rotunda has tweeted publicly, "My family would like to thank The Rock for his kindness, condolences, and love the past 2 weeks. Like he did all people, Wyndham had a positive impact on The Rock too. And DJ, Dwayne Johnson, has kept our fridges and homes, yes, plural, filled with meals and groceries. Love you, Ohana." So that's a lovely message. Just a reminder that The Rock's capable of incredible generosity.
People started turning on him recently.
The Rock.
The Rock. Because he's been untouchable for the longest time. For the right reasons as well, because he does just seem to be a lovely, charitable, kind, handsome, funny, brilliant man. But then, like, people seem to be, like, celebrating. What was the film that he did? I don't really follow movies. The
superhero one.
It didn't do as well as
Black
people.
Adam.
Black Adam, right?
I've not seen it either, but it got panned,
People, like, sort of Schadenfreude thing, they were like celebrating the fact, he's not so untouchable anymore. Like, he does seem really lovely.
From what I could gather, and I'm not up to date on Marvel at all, or was it DC on that shows. I'm not up to date on the superhero films, but apparently he was playing a character there which he took incredible creative license with and wanted this character to be more than it was, and it was a villain, but he made the character hero, and it kind of ruined the story of another one of their little nerdy characters that they care so much about. And they were like, "Oh, The Rock, why have you ruined?" No, I'm sorry.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, something like that. Matthew was trying to explain it to me, but I just zoned out.
Well, I think he seems nice. That's a lovely thing to do.
It is. He seems like a lovely guy.
I appreciate because he's got this massive audience and he still signal boosts wrestling stuff from time to time.
Sometimes he does,
quite
yeah.
often. And I just think that's really cool. He doesn't need to be doing that.
Especially given the amount of times you'll see wrestlers tweet him and stuff trying to get that. He actually does do it from time to time.
With indie guys as well. Like, you can give people the rub there. Like, The Rock's social media accounts, realistically, if you were buying a sponsored post on there, you're looking at 6 figures.
Right, okay.
And he's just doing it for free because he still loves wrestling.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
When you said signal boosting indie guys, the first thing that came to my head, and he's not an indie guy at all. I was going to go Ken Shamrock. Because he appeared on that video package to help induct him into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame.
The Rock's TNA debut, Impact debut.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's a heartwarming story, and you know, it shows that sometimes at least something good can come out of something so tragic. So that's good to see. Elsewhere, an AEW star has signed a new contract, according to Fightful, who say that sources have confirmed that Mogul Embassy affiliates manager Prince Nana is remaining with AEW as he recently signed a multi-year contract with the company. His work has received high marks within AEW and significant praise by several on the roster and in management. The deal was done in the last month or so. He's an entertaining chap.
He's right.
Oh, not
fine.
that. Adam Pacini wants to be the manager of Mogul Embassy Affiliate.
No, they're boring.
They've got Prince Nana as the manager.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Good for him. I don't know really what else to say about him. I think he is fun, yeah.
I find him good, but I find the makeup of that stable a little bit strange because he's very entertaining and stuff. And at Wembley, he was wearing the shiniest jacket I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Even like from quite far away, we were like, oh, what's that? Oh, it's Prince Nana's jacket. He's just dancing around. What match was that during? Possibly the Sting, the coffin match, yeah. But that team, Swerve Strickland's the main microphone guy in that stable.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know why Prince Nana needs to be. I guess he was with some of the previous guys before Strickland joined. But once Strickland either assumes full leadership of the group or leaves. Basically, Prince Nana is needed on the roster, I get it, but maybe not where he is currently. It's strange.
Agreed. It's funny with Swerve, isn't it? That like wherever you stick him, he sticks out. And he's the focal point because he's just so good.
I mean, Hit Row have been pulling up trees since he left.
Yes, they have. Yeah, glad they got re-signed.
Yeah, just without him. He's the only one.
Without the good one.
Yeah. And finally, so this could be big news. On Collision this past Saturday, Bryan Danielson made it clear that he was getting ready to start winding his in-ring career down so he could spend more time with his family. Now, Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated has said a little bit more on this as well.
Yeah, multiple people close to the situation confirmed with Sports Illustrated that Danielson will be stepping away from wrestling full-time in the next year, yet may remain a special attraction for AEW. I'll be gutted when he goes.
Yes, me as well. I don't know what else you can say because he's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Yeah. He promised that he wouldn't go quietly into that good night and said he would give the next 12 months his all, starting with a dream match against Zack Sabre Jr. at AEW Wrestle Dream, their Antonio Inoki show, which is happening on my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday for
October the 1st.
October the 1st.
Where's Wrestle Dreams on, and but also my birthday.
Yeah, well,
I think Tony Khan's going to give me a shout out halfway through.
That'd be nice. Yeah. I prefer Bryan Danielson to you.
Okay.
I think he's absolutely brilliant, and I'll be very sad when he
better wrestler than me for certain. Yeah, I would be good as well. He's shown that even having recently broken his arm and being not the youngest guy on the AEW roster, still went and had like literally a 5-star match against Ricky Starks in that strap match. He can do all kinds of matches as well, and just I think.
Bears.
I was gonna say once he retires, eventually we'll look back and be like, wow. But even now, people are already correctly, I think, assuming that he's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, it's a shame we lost those few years, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, but on the other hand, it's been so nice to see him be able to come back and end his career on his own terms.
Love his little face. He's
got
lovely,
a lovely little face.
He has.
Lovely.
He just seems like the nicest bloke.
Yeah,
Screw The Rock. The Rock's an arsehole. Right?
None of that. We want Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
So yes, there we go. We'll have to keep an eye on Bryan Danielson's career as he starts to wind it down. Starting with that match against Zack Sabre Jr. Thanks very much for watching. Leave your thoughts and opinions in that comment section down below, and check out our other news video, which went up on this channel earlier today as well. I've been Jack, this has been Adam, and we'll see you very soon.